distinguished viewers all over the world. Welcome to Simplified Maths class. My name is Mr. Mike Omini, and Simplified Maths class today will be presenting to you equations of a line, which is coordinate geometry. So coordinate geometry is the overall topic, and the subtopic is equation of a line. What is a line? A straight line is the shortest distance between 2 points mapped on space. What we mean is, if you take 2 points, let's say A, and another point, let's say B, the shortest distance between those 2 points mapped on space is what we call a straight line. All right? Okay, so after knowing what a straight line is, we will want to know what the equation of a straight line is, the equation of a line. Now, the equation of a line is given by the formula. The equation of a line is given by the formula y is equals to mx plus c. Y is equals to mx plus c, where y here is the dependent variable. The dependent variable. Meaning that for y to change, it must wait for the value of x to change before it will change. Meaning that y depends on the change in x for it to change. That's why y is known as a dependent variable. Now, x here is known as the independent variable. Independent variable. X here changes wherever it wants to change. Whenever x feels like changing, it changes. It does not need to depend on y for it to change. That's why it is known as the independent variable. And then m here in that equation is what we call the slope or gradient. The slope of the line or the gradient of the line. That's what m is. And then the c here is known as the intercept on the y-axis. Intercept on the y-axis. The intercept on the y-axis. Alright, so those are the definitions of the parameters that makes up the equation of a straight line. Y is equals to mx plus c. Alright, so without waste of time, if you look at this straight line, which is mapped on space in a coordinate, you will understand what we mean. Okay, so look at what we are trying to talk about. Now, this is the y coordinate, the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. If you bring up a straight line this way, this is a straight line. Of course, the intersection where this straight line intersects with the y-axis, that's where the C is, which is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the straight line passes through the y-axis. Even if the straight line continues this way, even if this is how the straight line is, where the straight line intersects with the y-axis, not the x-axis, where it intersects with the y-axis is the point where we call C. So that C is at this point. So assuming here we have 0, here we have 1, here we have 2, here we have 3, here we have 4, here we have 5. It therefore means that the y-intercept is at the point 3. That's what it means. The y-intercept is at the point 3. So it means that your y will simply be equals to 3. That's what it means. Please take note of that. Alright, so let's begin to go straight to what we call the equation of a line. How can we deduce the equation of a line? Alright, now you have already been told that the equation of a line is given by the formula y is equals to mx plus c. Y is equals to mx plus c, and we have been able to define the parameters. The independent variable y, the dependent variable y, the slope of the straight line, which is m, the independent variable, which is x, and the y-intercept, which is c. Now, a question can come. They can say, find the slope and the y-intercept. Find the slope and the y-intercept of the line y is equals to, okay, let's take the first one. Y is equals to 8x minus 3 y is equals to let's say 4x plus 10, and then you can have this, all right, 3y is equals to 8x plus 7, and then you can have another one, say 2y minus 8x is equals to 10. All right, you can be asked to find the slope and the y-intercept of the following lines. What do you do? All right, so solution, we are going to have the first one, y is equals to 8x minus 3. Of course, we've been told that the slope is the coefficient of x, which is m. So the coefficient of x here is definitely 8. Therefore, it means that the slope m is simply 8. And while the y-intercept is the point we call c, and here our c is minus 3. Here c is positive c, but here the c is negative 3. It therefore means that the y-intercept is minus 3. That's all. You've been able to answer that. All right, so in the second one, they've given you y is equals to 4x plus 10. They've asked you to find the slope and the y-intercept. Of course, the slope itself is equals to the coefficient of x, which is 4. And then the y-intercept is positive 10, that's 10. And that's all. You've been able to deduce the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so if you have the third one, where you're given 3y is equals to 8x plus 7. Okay, so here, for us to find the slope and the y-intercept, we must first make y the subject of formula, because we are having a number in front of y. So it means we are going to have y now will be equals to 8x plus 7 divided by 3. That's what it means. Which means our y will be equals to 8 over 3 of x plus 7 over 3. That's what it means. For you to say 8x plus 7 all over 3, it means 8 over 3x plus 7 over 3. Therefore, you can be able to now know the coefficient of x, which becomes the slope. So our slope now, the coefficient of x, is 8 over 3. And the y-intercept, which is the constant here, is 7 all over 3. So always know that the y-intercept is always a constant, is a figure, all right? Okay, so we've been able to get that. In the same manner, we can also know the fourth one. In the fourth one, they gave us 2y minus 8x. They said is equals to 10. And of course, for us to be able to know the slope and the y-intercept, we have to make y the subject of formula. It therefore means that 2y itself will be equals to minus 8x will cross to become a positive 8x. And of course, we have 10 the other way, because we just want to make the y the subject of formula for us to define the equation of that line. So which means that at this point, y now will be equals to 8x plus 10. We divide by what? By 2. And which means your y will be 8 over 2 of x. 8 over 2 of x plus 10 over 2. 10 over 2. It therefore means that our y will be equals to 8 divided by 2 will give us 4x plus 10 divided by 2 will give us 5. Therefore, we have been able to deduce the slope, which is the coefficient of x, and that is 4. And then the y-intercept, which is the constant, and that is 5. And that's all. So it's that simple whenever you're asked to find the slope and the y-intercept. We've been able to know that. All right, so we are going to now begin to find the equation of a line when you've been given the slope and when you've been given the y-intercept. It's almost like the anti of this, the reverse of this. So you're beginning from here to walk to this point. That's what we are trying to talk about. Okay, so let's go straight to that section where you'll be asked to find the slope, assuming you've been given when you've been asked to find the equation of a line, assuming the slope is given and the y-intercept is also given. All right, so they can ask you number 2, find the equation of a line, the equation of a line I with a slope of y-intercept of minus 3. You can be asked to find the equation of that line. You can also be asked to find the equation of a line with a slope, let's say, of 2 over 5, or let's say 3 over 5, and a y-intercept of 7. And also we can be asked to find the slope of a line, or the equation of a line with a slope of minus 2 over 3 and y-intercept of 1 over 3. Okay, so here we want to find the equation of a line with this. So the first thing we have to know, solution, is to bring out in I part, we have our slope, which is m, and it is 8, and we have the y-intercept, which is c, and the y-intercept is minus 3. And of course, we know that the equation of a line is given by the formula y is equals to mx plus c. Therefore, the equation of that line will be y is equals to m is 8. So that will be 8 and then x plus, what is the c? The c is minus 3. So you have a minus 3, which means that the equation of that line will be 8x minus 3. And that's all. That's the equation of the line. Okay, so in the second one, they say we should find the equation of a line with a slope of 3 over 5. The slope is 3 over 5. And then the y-intercept is 7. Y is equals to, the y-intercept, which is c, is equals to 7. Alright, so as usual, we'll bring out the equation of a line, which is y is equals to mx plus c. That means our y will be equals to m itself is 3 all over 5 before the x, plus c. Our c is 7. Alright, so at this point, you have to take the LCM of both sides. Alright, so that you can be able to have this. The LCM of 5 and 1 is 5. Please take note of that. 5 goes into 5, that's 1. 1 times 3 will give us 3x. Plus 1 goes into 5, that's 5. 5 times 7 is 35. So which means we are going to have y is equals to 3x plus 35 divided by 5. So at this point, of course, we'll cross multiply. So we'll have 5 times y will give us 5y is equals to 1 times this will give us 3x plus 35. So it therefore means that this is the equation of the line that has a slope of 3 over 5 and a y-intercept of 7. It's that simple. So simple. Alright, so we are going to take the next one, the last one, I. We've been asked to find the equation of a line with a slope. Slope is m. The slope is minus 2 all over 3, and the y-intercept, which is c, is equals to 1 all over 3. Alright, so we know that the equation of a straight line is given by the formula y is equals to mx plus c. Alright, and so y is equals to our m, which is the slope, is minus 2 all over 3 of x, plus our c is 1 all over 3. Alright, so what do? We take the LCM. The LCM of 3 and 3 is definitely 3. So 3 goes into 3 is 1. 1 times minus 2 is minus 2, and then x plus 3 into 3 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Therefore, it means y will be equals to minus 2x plus 1 all over 3. So we make this over 1 and cross multiply. So 3 times y will give us 3y is equals to 1 times the whole of this will still give us minus 2x plus 1. And that is the equation of the line with the given slope and the given intercept. Please take note of that. Alright, so after here now, we want to find the slope of lines. By the time we determine what the slope of a line is, we can then be able to find the equations of lines with certain slopes. Maybe that passes through 2 points, so that with the 2 points we'll be able to know the slope. And then after them we'll be able to know what parallel and perpendicular lines are. So without waste of time, let us come to the subtopic slopes. So let's be able to see what slope is. Alright, so the slope, as we have mentioned before now, we said that the slope is simply known as the gradient of a line or the steepness of a line. That's what the slope is. Of course, the slope is the gradient of a line or the steepness of a line, and it is usually denoted by the letter m. So whenever you see m in the equation of a line, it means it is the slope. All right, and so the slope is given by the formula m is equals to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, giving 2 points. All right, so you can be asked to find the slope that passes through 2 given points. All right, okay, so let's see how we can do that. You can be told to find the slope of a line. Find the slope of a line that passes through the points A, which is 2 and 3, and point B, which is minus 4 and let's say 8. We want to find the slope of the line that passes through this. The slope of the line that passes through this. Okay, that passes through the point 2, 3, and then minus 4, 5. All right, so solution. How do we do that? First and foremost, you have to understand that the 2 points you've been given, the first number here, A, you have 2 and 3. It means that this is your x1 and this is your y1. Please take note of that. And the second point you've been given, which is minus 4 and 5. Here is the x2 and this is the y2. Okay, so with this, you can be able to find the slope. And of course, we say that the slope m is equals to the change in the y-axis divided by the change in the x-axis. The change in the y-axis divided by the change in the x-axis, which is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. All right, so y2 here is 5 minus y1. y1 is 3. So you record all over x2. x2 is minus 4 minus x1. x1 is 2. So we have been able to substitute the values of y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Don't forget, the first point is always x1, y1, and the second point is x2, y2. All right, so at this point, we are going to have our slope to be equals to 5 minus 3, that's 2, all over minus 4 minus 2 is minus 6. Therefore, the slope will be equals to 2 here, 1, 2 here, 3. So that will be a negative 1 all over 3 because of the minus we have here. So the slope of that line is 1 all over 3. That's how easy it is to calculate the slope of a line. Okay, so sometimes the slope of the line you'll be asked to calculate will be a fraction. How do you do that? It's the same thing. It's as simple as this. So you can also be told to find the slope of a line that passes through 2 points that are fractions. Say for instance, number 2, find the slope of the line, the slope of a line that passes through the points, point P and Q. Point P is on half and minus 2 over 3, and then point Q is on let's say 3 over 4 and minus 1 over 3. Okay, so we want to find the slope of the line that passes through those 2 points P and Q. It's the same thing. It's as simple as the previous one we just did. So you should understand that the points you've been given P half and minus 2 over 3. This is your x1 and this is your y1. And then the point Q, which is 3 over 4 and minus 1 all over 3. This, of course, is your x2 and this is your y2. And of course, the gradient of the line, which is the slope, the gradient or the slope or the steepness of that line is given as change in y-axis all over change in x-axis. The change in y-axis is y2 minus y1 all over the change in the x-axis is x2 minus x1. So let's substitute the values we have. So our y2 is minus 1 over 3 minus y1, which is minus 2 all over 3, all over x2, which is 3 over 4 minus x1, which is 1 all over 2. So we are going to have minus 1 over 3, minus 1 all over 3, minus minus here becomes plus 2 over 3. 2 all over 3. and then 3 over 4 minus 1 all over 2. So let's see, minus 1 over 3 plus 2 over 3, minus 1 all over 3 plus 2 all over 3. Of course, this is the same thing as minus 1 plus 2 all over 3. So 2 minus 1 will give us 1 all over 3. So it means the slope here will give us, here we have 1 all over 3. And then the denominator, we have 3 over 4 minus half. So let's see what that is. 3 over 4 minus half. 3 all over 4 minus half. Of course, the LCM is 4. 4 into 4 is 1. 1 times 3, 3. Minus 2 into 4 is 2. 2 times 1, 2. So 3 minus 2 will give us 1 all over 4. So the denominator will be 1 all over 4. Therefore, our slope, m, will be equals to 1 over 3 divided by 1 over 4. So let's try that. So we have 1 over 3 divided by 1 all over 4, which is the same thing as 1 over 3 times. We take this up and bring the other one down. When you're changing division to multiplication, you inverse the second part there. So we are going to have 1 times 4 is 4, all over 3 times 1 is 3. Therefore, the slope is 4 all over 3. So you can record it as 4 all over 3 or one whole number 1 all over 3, which is the same thing as 4 all over 3. So by simply recording it as 4 over 3, you are correct. So we've been able to find the slope. We've been able to find the slope. With this, you can find the equation of a line that passes through these 2 points. And then before we can find the equation of a line that is parallel to a given line, or the equation of a line that is perpendicular to a given line. And that will be our slide 2. One will be meeting next for equations of lines. So please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, Simplified Maths Class, please try and do that. Because if you don't, you'll be missing out a lot. There are a lot of exciting topics that have been prepared for you, just for you, so that you can become the professional mathematician that you ought to be. God bless you as you subscribe to our channel. If you have any question, you can indicate it in the comment section and we'll respond back to your question. And if you enjoyed our class today, please give us a thumbnail. God bless you. See you in the second part of the equation of a line. Have a wonderful day. Cheers.